Investigators point to a web of ghost fleet tankers, vessels that switch flags, change names, disable tracking transponders, and conduct ship-to-ship transfers on the high seas to disguise the origin of their cargo. On the Iranian side, a state-controlled enterprise called Seper Energy Jahannama Pars, founded in 2022, has been singled out by US officials as being tied to the Ministry of Defense and Armed Forces logistics. Washington argues that Seper's oil sales directly fund Iran's military apparatus. In May 2025, the US Treasury imposed fresh sanctions on a network of shipping companies allegedly carrying Iranian crude to Chinese refiners. The Wall Street Journal later revealed that payments often avoid the international banking system altogether. Instead, a little-known Chinese conduit called Chuxin channels the value of the oil into credits that are then used to pay Chinese contractors building roads, power plants or ports in Iran, all underwritten by the state export insurer Sinosure. This barter-like system blurs the line between commercial trade and strategic finance, because the very same opaque network that moves oil revenue around sanctions could, in theory, be used to settle other transactions, including military acquisitions. US officials say the structure deprives Washington of the leverage it seeks. When oil revenues never touch the global dollar system, sanctions become harder to enforce. For Beijing, the model reduces direct exposure of its banks to secondary sanctions, while keeping Iranian oil flowing to its refiners at a discount. Analysts note that Iran's need for modern air defense systems, drones and missile components coincides with China's capacity to supply such items, officially for civilian use or via intermediaries to avoid detection. A persistent claim in defense circles is that Iran has recently obtained China's HQ-9B long-range surface-to-air missile batteries, though neither government has confirmed it. Skeptics warn that the evidence remains circumstantial, often drawn from commercial satellite imagery or regional intelligence leaks. Still, the presence of an established barter-like payment route strengthens suspicions that oil could be exchanged, at least in part, for defense equipment. China has historically been cautious about overt arms sales to Iran, mindful of US scrutiny and of its own energy interests with Gulf Arab states.